There are some good moments in the game.
Yeah, it does, I think, beg more questions, doesn't it, Karen, of where Juventus are going?
Yeah, I mean, they were just poor. There's no intensity, there's no pace. I think Owen's right, the only player that really turned up was Cristiano Ronaldo, and, you know, you're thinking, is he going to save the day again? But he can only do so much. And the rest of the players were just, we spoke about the midfield three, they were just not present, you know.
Nothing.
We couldn't even say, did they play tonight? Just passengers at times, and it was really, I mean, it was easy for Lyon just to bank up and we'll just wait, and it was really embarrassing performance from Juventus.
Yeah, you just feel like the coach and the current playing staff, there's a kind of, not a conflict, but like they're kind of butting up against each other. This group of players can't provide what the manager wants, or vice versa.
Well, to be fair, Chelsea players implemented Sarri's system, didn't they? You know, they all get in certain positions and they stay there, but actually they almost do it too much. If you think about the midfield three for Juventus today, Pjanic, Bentancur and Rabiot, they didn't really affect the game at all. Then Ramsey came on, and I think they're trying to do what the manager wants and stand in certain spots when they have possession. But at some point, you've got to affect the game. You've got to get in the box. You've got to make runs. Cristiano was the only one getting the ball to his feet, taking people on, affecting people. Think about Higuain. Didn't. So your midfield three don't do much. Higuain didn't really do anything. Bernardeschi had a couple, you know, mazy runs, but that, again, that's off his own back. The rest of the players, they didn't do enough. Cristiano was the only one really trying to create.
Yeah, and Dybala obviously came and went, sadly. Wasn't fit enough to affect the game. So, Lyon through. And so are Manchester City, as I've mentioned. They have won against Real Madrid at the Etihad. Carney and Owen Hargreaves watching with me at the Juventus side that were a bit anemic, a bit stodgy. What's the right word?
Just not present. And over two legs.
Yeah.
No, it just wasn't just this game. It was both legs played the same lethargic performance. And
6 months apart.
Yeah, so and you have to give a lot of credit to Lyon. Game plan worked. They were clinical when they needed to be. But for the players that Juventus have got, I mean, we've been looking at the squads, haven't we? The bench and everything. That performance should be a lot better. Yeah. It's too slow, no tempo, no energy, and you know, thankfully you've got Cristiano Ronaldo, because without him, it'd be even worse.
It would. Part of the story of the night, obviously, was the first half dual penalty decision debate that no one in here is very convinced about.
Well, I don't think anybody in the world will be convinced of either of these, to be honest with you, Matt. I mean, the referee, let's be honest, he had a really poor first half. And this one, you know, he gives a penalty where we just didn't see it. You know, maybe he sees this contact from Bernardeschi there, but it's pretty subtle. Where it goes down, it can't be from the second phase of the contact from Bentancur there. But that's subtle.
I mean, if you've seen that, he's got incredible eyesight.
But the thing is, from the other wide angle that we saw, he didn't give it for that one. No. He gives it for the second challenge, which from Bentancur, which is as good a challenge as you like. It's clean, plays the ball, so it can't be for that one. So we think he got that one wrong, but that's why we have VAR there, in case the referees get it wrong, then they can go, the fella upstairs, he can look at it, but he got it wrong as well.
So go to the monitor.
Go look at it yourself, because you get to look at it again. But fabulous penalty from Memphis Depay after a long injury out, his second game back. Brilliant finish from a really confident young man.
That is some front, isn't it, to do that in a game as big as this?
Like you just said, you've been out injured for 6 months with an ACL, and to come back and to do that, and your captain as well, that pressure, that moment.
Didn't even smile. I mean, that warranted a smile, that finish.
The celebration, he's just cool, isn't he? He's just like,
cool.
Yeah, go on. But no, it was a fabulous finish.
Yeah. Now, listen, we've got no idea what's going through the referee's mind for the second penalty. I really hope he's not trying to make amends for an early mistake, but listen, let's not go there. But what he thinks he sees, we can't see it for the life of us.
Well, that's what we've been trying to figure out, what he saw. So we wanted to see the angle, what the referee could see. You've got to think the referee's there. Memphis is on the other side of that wall. He cannot physically see that, can he, Karen?
No, he can't. That's what we couldn't understand. He's on the other side of the wall. We're only thinking that the arm, when Pjanic takes the free kick, he puts his hand up as if to say, yeah, handball, and just give it for that. But firstly, what can Depay do? He can't do anything. He can't, where is he going to put his hand or his arm? But I think, and we've spoke about this, I think Pjanic is actually aiming for it.
On that angle, it looks like it, doesn't it?
Do you think someone else has told him what they think they've seen, whether fourth, linesman?
Well, we saw it on the first angle. He can't see it, can he?
No.
I mean, honestly, unless he's Superman.
Ronnie does the job as you'd expect him to, but yeah, we can see quite clearly it's hit him on the middle of the forearm, well inside the shadow of his body, they can't.
Well, it's not clear and
Can't be a
obvious, is it?
penalty.
None of them are clear and obvious. The only thing clear and obvious was that both were errors. I mean, that was the only thing
Error
clear
was
and
giving
obvious.
them.
Yeah. I mean, I thought so, but who knows? I mean, hopefully VAR can clear it up for us eventually.
We need to find out because it's
Well,
baffling.
we probably won't, but nonetheless, you would hope that certainly the referee's assessor would have a good look at those two decisions. Happily, no debate about Ronaldo's enduring brilliance.
It was unbelievable,
What a second goal for him on the night.
It was just, how he's 33 and he's dropping
30,
shoulders.
35.
He's, dropping shoulders. He picks it up here and you think, go on, what are you going to do here? And it's just that little jinx there when he drops it, boom. And he's weaker foot as well. The keeper could have done better. I think there's a lot of power on that, but he was the only player tonight, Ronaldo, that went, you know what, I want to get us into the next round. I'm going to try. I didn't see that from any other Juventus player. He was trying to pick it up from deep, he was trying to dribble, trying to get free kicks. The rest of them, they really do need to go and have a look at themselves.
Yeah, and we've pulled together what other chances they created second half. They got a little bit of a head of steam up for a period, didn't they? And Ronaldo actually is one of those that maybe spurns a decent chance. That one's Bonucci.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they were dangerous on set pieces and corners, really dangerous. Again, this is Ronaldo. Look, leaving players for dead, dribbling, running at people. We don't normally see this now. He's normally in the box, but he was the only player, as Karen said, that was really trying. He'll be fuming, by the way, because he's 35. He doesn't have much time left. Yeah. And again, it's another set piece from Dybala. Free header from Ronaldo normally gets those down. We see that, but from open play for a team that they've spent so much money on to assemble, they didn't have it. And I think Sarri's going to get a lot of criticism. I know they won the league, and in the end it was only by a point, but that team, that's against a Lyon team that finished 7th in the French league. I think the expectation was that they should win a game of this magnitude with the squad that he has. And just as Karen said, the intensity wasn't there.
Yeah, I think anyone with a passing knowledge of Italian football will know that there will be some fierce debate in the media, certainly, and no doubt in the corridors of power at Juventus about Maurizio Sarri and that performance. Anyway, Lyon through to the quarterfinals in no doubt questions to answer. We'll talk a little more about their quarterfinal against Man City after we've had a look at City's defeat of Real Madrid. That's twice they've done Zinedine Zidane, who never loses in the Champions League, so fair play to Pep and his team, but they were relying on some sloppy defending tonight. Yeah,
I mean, they're trying to play out, I think, the angles that they're giving each other very square. I think what's he doing there? The keeper needs to give him another angle, and then Varane just makes an absolute hash, doesn't it? And then Raheem just does what he does, taps it away. But it's just an error there. Yeah. It's been, I think the key thing is how key Ramos is and the leadership and the composure and bringing it all together. So it's no coincidence that without him tonight there's been, real bad defensive errors.
Brilliant bit of football, Owen, for 1-1.
Wow, Rodrigo's so sharp, isn't he? Brilliant feet, and that man, we talk about, timeless Cristiano Ronaldo. How about Karim Benzema? Just continues to produce the goals. Great goal for Real Madrid just when they needed it. But I think City, we were watching the game, they just had too much. And when you're one of the best centre-backs in the world makes mistakes like that, Varane makes another one, Courtois gets caught out of his goal, he's in between two minds. But Jesus, that's what he gives you, different from Sergio Aguero. Sergio Aguero is obviously a better goal scorer, better finisher, but he never stops running, Jesus. Yeah. And you see that. He created 2 goals just from his hard work from that centre-forward position.
No, that's a good point. And they will carry that confidence into now what will be this mini-tournament that could, but they won't get much of a better chance, City, you'd think, to win the Champions League. So much are they desperate to do it than here and now.
Absolutely. I think they'll be confident going into the Lyon tie. Again, you look at the difference in intensities of today's game, the Manchester City, and then the game that we watched tonight was just non-comparable. So it's all in Manchester City's hands, I think. They've had the eye on this for a while. I think that even cost them in the FA Cup, that they were just solely focusing on this Champions League. They've just got to go for it. It's the one trophy that they want, and they've got the squad to do it.
I'm tempted to think they would have preferred to play Lyon, but actually on tonight's evidence, I'm not sure they'd have worried about either of these 2 oppositions we've watched. They won't mind that it's Lyon. They wouldn't have minded it was Juventus.
Well, I think Lyon could potentially give them more trouble, because they got a lot of athleticism inside the young midfield 3 today, Guimaraes and Aurora and Kakare, only 20 years old, he played fabulous. So that, that midfield 3, really young, but they played with real confidence. Almost Pep players, ball players. And Memphis, he's very athletic as well. That Juventus side has no athleticism. So, they're not going to be able to run in behind against a City side. But I think Man City fans, Pep Guardiola, they'll be delighted because if they play to their best, I think they beat Lyon quite comfortably.
Yeah. You will watch Bayern tomorrow, obviously in command of the tie against Chelsea. Are they City's biggest fear in the week and a half, 2 weeks to come?
I think Bayern are the only team I've seen so far that almost don't have a weakness. You know, Manuel Neuer is back to his best. The back line is quick all of a sudden with Alphonso Davies and Alaba. Midfield, the balance of it is perfect. Thomas Muller's in the form of his life. Lewandowski scored more goals than he ever does to go with Coleman.
City fans are turning off now. City fans are
getting... they switched me off ages ago. Don't worry about that.
No, he makes a good point. But City on this evidence will be right up for it.
Yeah, look, Manchester City can beat anyone when they're on it. You know, we've seen a lot of inconsistency with them this season, but when they're focused and they're pressing with the intensity that they have done over 2 legs against Real Madrid, they can beat anyone, but it will be very difficult. I think Bayern are the team, the favourites, and the ones that I think everyone's got their eye on.
Barca Napoli, any upset there tomorrow night?
Again, how can you call it? You know,
it's close, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought Napoli were really, really good. I thought Barca were poor, but Messi come up with a bit of magic to Griezmann and that goal, but I don't know, I fancy a bit of an upset for Napoli. I thought they were good, yeah.
At the Nou Camp tomorrow night. That also live, of course, from BT Sport. Thank you very much tonight, guys. Karen, as always, a pleasure. Owen, nice to see you. Nice to share a studio. Even if we can't be at the games in most cases.